Later than we should be. I had to update Zoom, as some of you may have had to do as well. And when I went to log in as Sarah, it was giving me a hard time doing that. I'm going to share my screen. I did something a little bit different with our marketing plan this month. And I did it because I want you to be accountable and in control of your marketing plan. So rather than me, what I found, and this I've found with everything in life, when we lay something out and do all the hard work for someone, instead of teaching them how to do it themselves, it is very easy for them to say, oh, thank you, and have every intent of using what we lay out for them and then not actually using it because they didn't have to do any of the work in order to make it happen. It's kind of like, I love that we have stopped just making meal plans for our clients that go along with our programs. Instead, what we've done is we've created 2 nutrition programs. So instead of us just giving someone a plan to follow and saying, here, eat this, and this every day, we're actually teaching them. It's taking longer and they're having to like go through and do some of the work on their own. But because they're invested in it and they're doing what they need to do in order to learn about nutrition and about the program and how it works and why it works the way it does, they're being more successful with it and they're owning it and they're being more accountable to it because they're responsible for it on their own. So instead of me just creating a calendar, showing you the calendar and going over it, which some of you have told me is really beneficial to you, what I want you to do right now is get out your calendar that you use to do your business activity tracking, to schedule out your life or your career or your business, whatever it is, whatever you use. Yes, Blair is showing hers off. I love a planner. Like, I'll never be able to go completely digital because I love me a paper and pen planner. I want you to get that out right now. If you don't have it handy, get out a notepad because it's time to take notes. So the June marketing plan is set up a little bit differently than you're used to, and I've incorporated lots of social media tips because the feedback that I've gotten from you guys in regards to the marketing plan is that it doesn't necessarily help for me to tell you what to post about. It helps for me to tell you like give you ideas of things to do, of like action steps to do, but then also give you some motivation or inspiration for posts because some of you feel stuck with your posts. So the first thing I want to say is marketing is not advertising. And I think some of us are stuck there when we think of marketing. Like when you think of the calendar that I create for you, some of you are thinking, okay, what do I need to post? No, that's not marketing. That's your advertising. Every time you post on social media, you're advertising what value you have to offer. You are showing people your storefront on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your TikTok, your Instagram stories, your Facebook stories. That is you just showing people who you are and what you have to offer. That's advertising. That's not your marketing. There should be a plan behind the advertising, right? Stores don't just advertise. They don't just throw out posters. They plan, Memorial Day weekend's coming up. So we're going to have hot dogs and hot dog buns and Busch Light and Bud Light and red, white, and blue cookies and all this stuff on sale this weekend because people buy that stuff to cook out for Memorial Day. Like there's a plan there. It's not just we're going to randomly decide to throw some things in the sale paper or some things on the poster out front. It's a strategic plan sharing your story, your experiences, your tips, and adding value to your world. This should all align with what we have to offer our ideal customer. This is a business, therefore we need to have a business plan. I think we forget sometimes because we love this so much and it's become our lifestyle and we have so much fun with it that this is a business. So we have to treat it as such in order to be successful. So grab your calendar. I didn't make it for you this time. You're going to do it on your own. And I think you're going to find this much more beneficial, even though it's going to require you to do a little bit of work. So here are some dates you may want to put on your monthly calendar when you're looking at it. June 1st is more than likely going to be the start of your new challenge group. The really cool thing is it's also a Monday this time. So I wrote that down. From June 21st to June 24th, we are going to do a team-wide 3-day refresh group in BOD groups. Prep day is going to be June 21st. I've talked about this a couple times in the team page. If you want to do it and you haven't ordered your 3-day refresh, I beg of you to order it tonight after this call, because I can't even guarantee you it will arrive in time if you order it tonight. I contacted one more person today who had shown a little bit of interest and said, if you don't order today, I don't know if it'll come in time, because I just don't know. Shipping's been crazy. So keep that in mind. Prep day is June 21st, which is Father's Day. We are not starting on Father's Day. We'll just post some tips on how to prep for it. And then the Monday after Father's Day, we will start. So it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that we'll do the 3-day refresh. June 23rd is the Salted Caramel Shakeology lunch. We really want to talk about that. I am so excited about salted caramel. That's like my dessert of choice. If I'm going to have dessert, it's going to be caramel. June 24th to June 26th, we are going to host our first coach information session through BOD groups. I'm hoping. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that without forcing them to sign up for a free account. So we'll see. If it can't be on BOD groups, then it will be on Facebook, like the olden days. But we haven't done one in a while, and I'm sick and tired of trying to reinvent the wheel. We're going to do it. It worked, and we're going to go back to it. So when we get into the calendar section of what we're going to be talking about when in the month, you'll see where you should be talking about challenge groups and where you should be talking about the coach information session. Because we're having that coach information session on June 27th, we're going to have a new coach mentorship kickoff. And that's where anybody who has joined our team or anybody who needs a refresher within the team will join the group, and we will teach them how to get their business started right, how to kick off, okay? For your marketing focus, starting today until June 10th, I want you to focus primarily on inviting to your challenge group, talking to your ideal customer. And when I say you're talking to your ideal customer, I don't mean you have to have this avatar that you've spent hours creating, okay? I'm saying you're talking to the person who needs time-saving tips in the kitchen that are healthy. You're talking to the person who is struggling with quarantine weight. You're talking, like, think of the people that need to hear what you have to say right now. That's your ideal customer. Maybe you're talking to yourself. Maybe you're your ideal customer right now. That's okay. Just make sure you remember that when you post. You're not talking to the general public. You're not making a statement. You are speaking to someone that would be perfect in your challenge group. From June 11th to June 24th, we're going to specifically do coaching invites. Now, these may end up being the same people. You may start talking to someone about your challenge group and decide that they'd be a really good coach and encourage them to join us in our information session as well. Totally fine. Again, you are talking to your ideal coach. So don't talk to anybody and everybody, because anybody and everybody isn't interested in kickstarting a side hustle during quarantine, okay? Sometimes they're just surviving, and so they need to go in the challenge group. The challenge group is going to help them not just survive, but to thrive. But then there's some that are like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to level up. And those are the people that you're talking to when you're talking about the coach invites. In order to have a plan, you have to have it ahead of time, okay? You can't just have, like, say you're going to market or say you're going to work this business and do it flying on the seat of your pants. That's not going to work. So you have to plan your posts ahead of time. I'm not saying you have to schedule them all or anything like that. I'm not saying, like, if you decided every Friday you're going to do Foodie Friday and you're going to share a recipe, but then something crazy happens to you Friday morning and you really want to share it, but you're like, nope, can't do it. It's Foodie Friday. Share it. do whatever feels right. You don't have to stick to a plan all the time. As a teacher, I mean, there are days when my entire lesson plan gets thrown out the window because they don't get it, or because someone's crying, someone broke up with their boyfriend. I don't know. All sorts of things happen and make me change my plans. The point is you have a plan so that you know what you're getting into. And then if you have to change it a little bit along the way, you change it a little bit along the way. We're women. We know how to do that. We're really good at being flexible. All right. So plan your posts ahead of time. If what you're already doing is working, keep doing it. If you don't want to listen to the rest of this because you've got it going on and you are like down with a plan, then that's fine. I am not telling you you have to do this. I'm telling you this will work if you do it consistently. So if you're struggling right now, or you don't have any plan at all, you're just kind of doing whatever feels right in the moment, then maybe you want to pay attention and take some notes. If you are not consistent, if you overthink things rather than just share from your heart, or, sometimes we go to share something and we're like, ooh, what's Karen going to say in cubicle 5 if I post that? Screw Karen. We don't care about Karen. Stop overthinking. Share, okay? If you wonder what you should write, or wonder like how it will impact your mom if you post it, then you need to keep listening, okay? If you crave a plan, some of us right now are craving a schedule. Some of us are like, please bring me back to reality. Then you need to keep listening. You need to have your notepad out. You need to be paying attention, okay? It's really important. I think we forget this a lot. Social media posts support our one-on-one conversations. Social media posts are not the meat or the bones of our business. The bones of our business are those personal one-on-one conversations. Our social media posts are what get us into those conversations. If you're not showing up consistently in real life, on your stories, in your social media, in your friend group, in your church group, in whatever group that you ride in, then you are probably struggling with the conversation piece. That means you need to make sure you're supporting the conversations. The foundation of the business may be social media posts, but that's not what's going to build the house, if you know what I mean. It's not what's going to build the business. They have to be there to support it, but they're not the end all be. They're not the roof over our head. Okay. The more clear your social media message is, the more people are going to trust you. Be real, even if it's ugly. Okay. Our posts should be so clear and speak right to the community that needs to hear what we have to say so well that they know what they need to do in order to get started. We should make it really, really clear. If this is something that speaks to you, all you need to do is reach out to me, or all you need to do is comment below, or all you need to do is like my picture. They should know that. They should know when I'm struggling, I go to Lindsay or I go to Blair, because she posts all the time on social media about what she's doing. So if this is something I'm struggling with, I know she's my girl. That's how it should go. Stating that you have a group means nothing to people who have never been in a group before, okay? Just saying, oh, I've got an accountability group starting, that's great. But just saying that and not really sharing what an accountability group is, or what it means to you, or how it's changed your life, or impacted your nightly schedule, or made you get out of bed when you don't want to get out of bed, all that stuff, people don't know that stuff. People do not know what accountability groups are, what challenge groups are, what boot camps are, until you tell them. So just saying, I've got this group starting on this date, doesn't mean jack to most people. You have to be specific. Sharing random things doesn't make people want to join you. Like sharing a meme that you found on Pinterest or something, and not like having a story to go along with it, or like some type of lesson or anything like that to go along with it, means nothing to people. You have to be flexible. You have to be you. If one of these things doesn't fit you, don't do it. Okay. Like if you cannot talk about one of the topics that's on here because you don't know anything about it, or it doesn't apply. Like obviously if you're not a mom, you're not going to talk about your kids. It's like, that would be weird. You're talking about your kids. Be you. Make your voice stand out. You don't want to be a cookie cutter coach. If you have something else to talk about or something hits you in the feels right at that moment, do it. Like I said before, the plan is a plan. It is not end all be all. It is not like a script, okay? Thank goodness it's not a script. This is important. Every other post that you post, whether you do it 2 times a day or 1 time a day, every other post should be pure value. You should not be asking for something. You should not be giving them a call to action during this post. You should not be trying to sell something or have them join something or be complaining about something. You should be adding value to your community every other time you hit post. That's important. Value can be lots of different things, and I'm going to give you loads of ideas, and you can pick and choose which ones you love the most. You should only invite, like do a call to action, every 3 to 4 posts. I know in the past we've said every single post needs to be a call to action. That's a surefire way to get yourself unfollowed. I would stop doing that. Every 3 to 4 posts is when you're going to say, you know how I shared that recipe the other day and some of you really liked it? Well, I've got a group that's going to share a lot of recipes like that coming up soon. If you think you might want to be in it, say brownies in the comments or something like that, okay? That would be your invite to join post. Get your calendar out. The 2 weeks that I said we would focus on inviting to the challenge group, these are some ideas for posts. I gave you more than 7. You can post more than once a day. You can pick which ones you really like. You can pick which ones don't apply at all or you want to throw out. You can do some of these more than once. You can do them out of order. There is no rhyme or reason. I just wanted to give you lots of ideas because that's what you guys say you need. So the 2 weeks in June that you're going to be focused on inviting to your challenge group or your boot camp, here's some ideas of things you could be sharing to add value to your community, to show them what an accountability group really is or what a challenge group really is. The first week, you could do some type of enrollment post, just like let people know that you have this opportunity that is now available. If people who are maybe hitting up the pantry a little too often during quarantine and want to get back in their jeans before it's time to go back to work, they might want to be the ones to join this group. Do you see what I did there? I give you a sentence starter. Do you see the teacher in me right now? I give you a sentence starter for your post. People who are hitting up the pantry too often during quarantine and want to fit back in their jeans before it's over need to pay attention right there. You could share a recipe. If you are using the Mompreneur challenge group guides, she gives recipes at least once a week. If you're not, then go to the Beachbody page. There's loads of recipes. You can just open up the app and get like 15 recipes right there on your one screen. Fun facts are getting to know you. Share stuff about you. Be weird. Be kooky. I used to always say, let your freak flag fly, because I think that's so important for people to see, like, oh, she's a real human. That's cool, because when I see someone like Jillian Michaels or Autumn Calabrese, I'm intimidated because they seem like robots to me. That's not what we're here for. Fitness-related pain points and stories or tips. So we're going to talk more about pain points in the near future. These are things that like you struggle with or that you did struggle with and they were pain points for you, or maybe they still are pain points for you. So you're going to share a little bit about that, because chances are if it's a pain point for you, it's a pain point for like 500 other people on your Facebook feed. I always say that to my students in my classroom. No question is stupid, because if you have that question, out of 25 kids, there's probably at least one more kid in the room that has that same question, but they're too afraid to ask it. So if you let someone know that you have this pain point, maybe it's that you're diabetic, maybe it's that your mother passed away at a young age from heart disease because of obesity. Maybe it's that you struggle with your weight, you're yo-yoing. Maybe you've been spending too much time on the scale lately. Maybe you are coming back from having a baby. Like, these are all pain points for us. Share it. Be raw and be real and share that, because other people need to know they're not the only ones that feel that way. Share a transformation story. Share a mindset post. Today, my mindset was just toilet water. And so I decided to change it by hopping onto Peloton and doing the Greatest Showman ride because I knew that would change my mind. Talk about the community. Share a customer, or you could share a coach testimony from the team page or from your challenge group. Share a confidence post. Share your own physical or mental transformation. Share nutrition pain points. Share an encouragement. Share tips that your ideal customer would be interested in, like how to make weeknight healthy meals or how to prep ahead of time so the mornings aren't so crazy. And then do some type of last call for your group. Like you announced in the beginning, we're kicking this thing off. You need to say at the end, this is last call. If you don't join now, you're going to miss it this month. Then there's 2 weeks where we're going to focus on inviting to the coaching opportunity. During this time, you can talk about your personal growth story. Think about who you are as a human being compared to who you were when you started this journey. Glory, hallelujah, the girl I was 6 years ago. Wow. I don't even recognize her. You could talk about a pain point again. You could give them a direct invitation to the coaching information session. You could share a coaching transformation story. You should definitely share a transformation picture if you're going to do that. Could be yours, could be someone else's. Another pain point story. And by the way, these pain points are probably not going to be the same as they were last week. These are going to be things like maybe the financial stress that you had before you started this business. Thursdays, every Thursday, you should be talking about the income and what it means in your life. I don't care how big or small it is, y'all. If you made $15, that fills up your gas tank right now. At least it does mine almost because of how cheap gas is. So think about that. That's $15 you didn't have to pull out of your savings account. That makes a difference. You could do a mindset post. You could share your why and what you're working toward. Talk about another pain point, someone else's transformation in their coaching business. That's really big. A lot of times people see us and they're like, well, yeah, of course Lindsay's doing it. But you know what? Jen's doing it. Carissa's doing it. Blair's doing it. April's doing it. Like all these other people are doing it too. It's not just Lindsay. So I need to share that. I need to give them credit where credit is due, but also show people it's not just me doing it. I'm not special. There's loads of other people doing it just like you. Go back and share pain point number 1 again, and then share a story about the work that goes into it. We do want to make sure when we're talking about coaching, we are letting people know it is work. It is a business, because sometimes we glorify it so much because we love it so much that when they actually get started, they're like, dang, this is a lot of work. Well, yeah, because you're making good money. Tips for writing your posts. Tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Be consistent. Share it so many times that somebody who meets you in Walmart for the first time could tell you about yourself, okay? Always end your stories with some encouragement. Always try to twist them positive. Even if you're sharing one of your pain points and maybe it's still a pain point, share how you are coping with it, or how you've learned, how you've had this support system that has helped you, or how instead of eating Oreo cookies and a gallon of ice cream, you're hopping on the Peloton because you had a bad day. You can always take the bad and twist it a little bit. Make your calls to action non-committal. Don't make it seem like if they comment or if they fill out your form or whatever it is you're having them do, that they have to be in, or they have to pay a certain fee, or they have to do this. It should be like, if you want more information, do this. Or if you like chocolate covered cherries too, drop this in the comments, kind of thing. Make them non-committal. Keep them fun. Keep things light, especially on Facebook. Good God knows Facebook needs to lighten up right now. Lord have mercy. Okay. Be personal. No, hey friends. Hey y'all. Hey girl, how you doing? How's everybody today? No, we're talking to one person. Be like, girl, I need to talk to you. I know you're going to understand, so I'm going to come here and do this with you right here, right now. That's the kind, when someone's listening to your stories or watching your stories, they want to think you're talking to them. They don't want to think you're talking to all the girls in North Carolina. Okay. Avoid selfish content on your feed. Save that for your stories. What I mean when I say that is your posts that everybody can see should be for education, entertainment, or inspiration purposes. You should ask yourself, what does this post do? Who is it serving? And how is it serving them? In your stories, that's when they get to know the like nitty gritty, dirty side of who you are. That's when they get to know, like get a little more personal, a little more selfish, I guess. They can know like, there's only one cookie left and I'm going to hide it in the back of the pantry so that my kids don't know we have any more because I want to be able to eat it tomorrow for my yellow container or something, or my treat, whatever, my cheat day. All right. You don't share that stuff on your Facebook page, share it in your stories. Talk as if you're sitting next to your best friend at a coffee shop. If you don't know how to do this, plug in and listen to one of Keisha Fitzgerald's podcasts. She is a natural. You feel like you're just sitting next to her and you've known her forever. If you want people to engage with you, you have to engage them first. Think about this. When you go to Walmart, especially right now, I feel like right now we're all walking around like not even trying to make eye contact because we're not supposed to like touch each other or talk to each other or even let people see our mouth right now, right? So it's like this weird time. Like I smile at people. I'm like, they don't even know I'm smiling because I have this mask on my face. So if you're not engaging with them, like today I walked by somebody and I could tell he wasn't going to speak to me. It was a person working there. And I was like, hey, how are you? And I had my mask on and he was like, good. How are you doing? I was like, I'm good. Thank you. Is it okay to take a cart from here? Like he didn't think I would speak to him. And I'm sure the 30 people that went into the grocery store before me didn't speak to him. Because it just feels weird right now. If you engage first, they're going to engage back. So it works the same way in our business. Always have light and bright photos and always have variety. Guys, don't share your sweaty selfie in your home gym every day. Nobody wants to see the same thing every day. For your story, a lot of you are struggling with stories. So I wanted to give you, there's a lot of tips for stories, okay? And I'm going to share this PowerPoint. So if you're trying to take notes and I'm going too fast, that's fine. But I'm trying to be cognizant of the time. So some story tips. You could talk in your stories about how coaching keeps you consistent. By the way, I forgot to say this, but with your posts and with your stories, talking and being on video is always better than a post where they have to read it. Because they can hear you. They can hear your emotion. They can hear your inflection in your voice. I don't know, it's just so much more personal. So that's why I think it's so important for us to all be on this call together, seeing each other, listening to each other, because even though we can't touch each other and hug each other and be around each other, this is personal. Even listening to the recording, not so personal. It's still good, but this is like the next level. Your posts are great. But if you would go live once a week about one of them instead of just posting about it, it would be next level. Same with your stories. You could easily share all these things in your stories with a picture or a boomerang or like a screenshot of something or some text, or you could just go hands-free for 15 seconds and share the same thing and give them your voice and your emotion behind it. So you could talk about how coaching keeps you consistent, why you share your workouts and your journey, what life was like before you started coaching, how our team impacts your life, the work that you do. Like you should share with them what you're doing a little bit each day, maybe at least 4 times a week, 5 times a week, to show them like I have to do this every day in order to be successful, but I do it on my terms. I do it during my free time. I do it because, on my couch in my pajamas with no bra on, because that's what I like to do, kind of thing. Every Thursday, what does your paycheck mean to you? Feel free to also snag what the other coaches in our team page are saying. Every Thursday, Christy posts in our team page, what are you doing with your paycheck this week? So many of us are building a savings account during quarantine, you guys. Do you realize that? That's insane. Like there are people in this world who are struggling right now. They're having to put their rent on hold. They're having to put all sorts of stuff on hold because they don't have income coming in. And here some of us are we are blessed, but we're not lucky. We're working for it. The reason why we're getting what we're getting is because we've put in the time, but we're able to put things in savings right now. I wasn't able to do that 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I was almost paycheck to paycheck. So share that and share what I'm doing with my paycheck is so different than what someone else is doing with theirs, because my values are different, my core values. Not saying anybody's right or wrong, just saying, like, maybe this person likes to be able to go get her nails and hair and clothes every month with her paycheck. And I'm over here like, rainy day fund, because I'm a chronic saver. I do not like spending money. Tell your story in a photo series. Struggles that you had and how you overcame them. Your motivation. Oh, I put motivation twice. Apparently that one's really important. How does coaching relieve stress in your life? Tips on consistency. How to show up every day. How our community impacts you. And when I say community, I know earlier I said team. We're more than our team. Our challenge group impacts us too. Think about the feeling you get when you see one of your challengers hit a milestone or hit a goal or show up when they doubted themselves before they joined you in the first place. What you help them do when they start. So you need to show people that when you start this thing, you're not just going to be like figuring it out on your own. This is what I do to support you when you start. Share how your nutrition plan works. Share how you access or where you do your workouts. 4 times a week, minimum, you should be sharing your superfoods. Notice how I said superfoods and not shake. You should be sharing your superfoods and what role they play in your life. You don't have to share the deets. Like, they don't need to know how much protein or what like berry is in there that's making your, I don't know, skin shine. I'm just making stuff up right now. But what they need to know is that, like, for me, making 3 meals a day is a chore. It is like weighing on me some days. But there's 1 meal a day I don't have to think about because I got this. And that has been a godsend during this time. You could share tips for getting your workout done. You could share about Energize. What role does Energize play in your life? Do you drink it in the morning before you work out? Do you drink it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when your kids are driving you crazy and you need a little pick-me-up? Talk about it. Shout out your challengers. Shout out your coaches. Shout out coaches that don't belong to you that are part of your upline or downline. It doesn't matter. Give a glimpse into your boot camp and challenge group. Tell people what they get when they join. So a lot of people don't understand what we even offer. I know, like, some of us are like, why don't they? We talk about it every day. I get it, girl. I do. But they don't get it because they're not part of it. And you got to remember who you were years ago or months ago before you started. You didn't know what it was either. Do you remember that girl? Do you remember the girl that was trying to figure out whether or not this would actually be the thing that worked for you after so many things failed you? Or if this would actually be the thing you stuck with after you started and stopped and started and stopped and start. Show them what they get when they join. Show them why this is that thing for them. And then, of course, always count down to day 1. Like I said, do the last call. You could do that in your stories on a consistent basis. Now, I know I talked a lot tonight about the ideal coach and the ideal customer. I don't know where Christy got this from. She shared a PowerPoint with me earlier today, and it had an ideal coach and customer workbook linked to it. I clicked the link, and I'm able to share it with you. So if you open that link, which I'm going to put into our team page, it actually walks you through identifying who your ideal coach and customer would be. This is completely different from the avatar. If you remember a couple weeks or months ago, I made the comment that I thought we kind of got off track when we did the whole avatar thing. This is more giving you like talking points so that you can imagine talking to a person, not talking to a screen when you write your posts. So it's going to help you with your ideal coach and customer. And then it also is going to help you to identify some pain points that you can address throughout the month. And you can write them on Post-it notes and stick them to your laptop or around your workspace, wherever it is, so that you can touch on them and share them in the moment when you are working. Now, the only way to make this work is to actually implement it. If you showed up on the call and you paid attention and you're inspired and you leave feeling fired up, but 3 days from now, you're like, I'm tired and Netflix and chill and Oreos and milk and chips and dip, then yeah, it's not going to work. It's just like our programs. Buying it is the first step. Doing it is the next step. And doing it every day is the step that actually makes the difference. Same with business. Being on the call, doing the work even on the days when you don't want to. It is your moral and ethical obligation to use your story, to use your gift, to serve your ideal customer and coach. God gave you this for a reason. Use it for good. Let me stop sharing and see if I have any comments in the chat. Quality over quantity. Absolutely. I like the name Pam better, Jen, because I work with a Karen and I absolutely love her. So every time I'm like, shut up, Karen, I feel bad because I don't want her to ever think I'm talking about her. But yes, I hope that helped. I hope everybody is excited for June. We got big things. I'm super stoked for Salted Caramel Shakeology. I hope y'all have a great week. If you have any questions or anything about any of this, let me know. Love you.